Welcome back to Dapple Productions, everybody, hosting leagues under the ink. And our next set will be OctoInkers against Seachedelia. We're gonna start it off tonight with Cams on the stream, a first on Dapple Production. Looking at our beautiful faces right here on stream. The teams tonight, like I said earlier, Seachedelia and OctoInkers. Seachedelia's roster tonight is Nima, Akira, Jack, Season, and Axel. And also we have OctoInkers, which recently changed their roster just for this match. It will be Num, Karota, Akula, and Star Cube. So before anything else, Pat, you've casted the last LUTI game, or the last match that was here on stream, and now you're casting it again. But how are you feeling now? Dapple has face cams.
We have face cams that we are trying to use, and honestly, I love to see it, Hat, and I hope you're doing good. It's a pleasure to see you again, and your nice face, and it's a pleasure to be here. And yeah, we're going to have a great time. This group that is like Div 4 Group B, every week we've had at least one game to show in that group of LUTI, so I'm glad that we can show a bit more between OctoInkers and Seachedelia.
Yeah, Seachedelia also hasn't had the best of LUTI runs so far. They've been down 2 losses against 8K Ping and Meow, and OctoInkers also lost 1 game. So it's those teams are the lower 2 teams on this bracket, but I think with the current match, one of them can definitely boost himself up a little bit to try and still get that top 2 spot to put themselves into the LUTI playoffs. But only time will tell. If we can have a look at the maps these teams are going to play, because it is a best of 9, and we're going to start it off on Rainmaker, Sturgeon, Shipyard, which is, I think, a very good opener, a very balanced opener. Though Rainmaker always tends to cause some chaos here. So, looking at the weapons that the teams play, because we have a handy dandy document. Thank you so much, Pinky, for providing us this document. If I look, I have to match the text though. Num, I'm gonna start it off from OctoInker. Num replaces the Sora Tentembrella, and the Vanilla Slasher, and the H3, which is a very interesting weapon. You don't see that all too often. Karota goes to Vanilla Splatter Shot, the Vanilla Splash-O-Matic, and the Carbon Roller Deco, which is also not something you see too often. I guess they're already a bit faster than I thought they would be. Rest in peace with the introduction, but let's see. Double Splatter Shot, having a double Inkzuka is always fun. Both teams opting to run a double Inkzuka, but OctoInkers also tends to run double backline-ish with the Splatling and the Pencil. This looks like a very interesting opener, and if Seachedelia wants to counter that with that Tactical, which is a very strong special Rainmaker, do that speed buff. 2 players from Seachedelia go down so early by Akuda that Pencil is nothing you mess with. Gino now has the Rainmaker looking forward. The ballpoint from Seachedelia goes down as well. That is not the opening that they wanted to have, as OctoInkers is making big pushes forward. Genio just holding it back a little bit. Obstacle on the left side as everyone is busy on the right side from Seachedelia, and it's a very, very quick checkpoint here, Pat. And now the Tacticooler as well to prepare for the second push.
Yeah, and they're ready to push further ahead. Like, you called that Nautilus a backline, and they're like, what did you just say? I'm not a backline, I just run forward. And then I get these splats, and I get the points, and that was quite the opening by OctoInkers and Seachedelia now. They need to, like, breathe a bit and get back in the game, but first they need to move down that perch. Starcube looking to get a few traps, get a few picks. Seachedelia able to drop down, but now they're just struggling to get into mid, and that's not a situation you want to be in, especially with that big lead, and bazookas are now raining everywhere.
Yeah, and also struggling. That Pencil's making life a lot harder than it needs to be for Seachedelia. They have to find a way to shut down Akula, because as long as that Pencil is there, they have nowhere to go. The Notch also doesn't help. 2 Inkzukas already for OctoInkers. 1 goes down very quickly. The second one is used as well, as Jack goes onto the checkpoint. Doesn't make it a fortune. Katora also gets a spell on Axel. That push is as dead as the dodos, as I said earlier, because 3 players down, you cannot push with 1 player if you have to put the Rainmaker as well. That's unfortunate, but a very good effort from Seachedelia, and definitely taken back a lot of points, but not enough. They are 6 away from the lead, and they are away from the checkpoint as well. So that's going to sting a little bit. Now it's OctoInkers' turn to try and push again. It's a 3v3 scenario. Nautilus just respawned. Season going in deep, opts to run away a little bit to fight that Rainmaker. Has the Inksuka ready as well, uses it, but Genio's there with the Nautilus, misses all 3 shots, gets splattered there as well. Now Inkjet onto the Nautilus, but the Nautilus just says, no, I can fight an Inkjet, I get shot down by the Rainmaker pet. OctoInkers is not messing around this game.
And they're not messing around, and they're about to extend their lead. Right now, they have the Rainmaker in such a good position. And there is no way for Seachedelia to get anywhere near that Rainmaker. Akula can just move forward, make a lot of points. They missed the jump though, and Seachedelia can breathe a little. But right now, Seachedelia, they're going to need a monster push to get back in, and they have 2 minutes to do so.
Yeah, 2 minutes is a decent amount of time. You can definitely get something done there. Not with 2 players down. You have to rush in and get a Rainmaker or have to go back, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Nima holding a Rainmaker, but again, Akula with that pencil shuts them down. Gino and Karota, of course, putting in a lot of pressure. Now it is just Oxel alive. Opting to go back. The teammates are surely joining there as well. Popping the Rainmaker is in a very bad spot, might I add. Inkjet goes out, trying to get rid of that pencil, but fails to do so. In fact, the pencil's putting on a lot of pressure onto the Inkjet, who is stuck in mid-air and unfortunately for Seachedelia disconnected.
But I'm pretty sure this disconnect is way too late for the LUTI rules. Seachedelia, they have to keep playing. They don't have a choice right now. And in a 3v4, that's going to be a very, very tough game one to come back in. And, oh yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, of course, a Rainmaker is one of those game modes where chaos is often, you know, it's often a very chaotic game mode, and you have to, it has to suit you. Like, I know a lot of teams who just struggle in Rainmaker and every other mode who's doing fine. It's just Rainmaker is so difficult in some places. It's so fast, and you really have to be able to adapt all the time to a moving objective. So that's something that I guess Seachedelia struggles with a little bit compared to OctoInkers. And now also only 3 people's alive. OctoInkers can easily push it all the way here to 10, which is unfortunate for Seachedelia. They have 3 players down now, so they can get a counter push and a full wipeout though. So hey, that's something to go. So not ending with a knockout, or ending with a bang. They have a chance here though to somewhat get it, but they have to go through the checkpoint and all the way to 9 in their spawn, which I think is next to impossible. It can be done with Karota with a big flank onto the Rainmaker, going to prevent any sort of push and a wipe out to seal that deal. It allows OctoInkers to take the first game of tonight's LUTI set.
Hey, Seachedelia, they were holding their own. They were staying in the game long enough to maybe get a comeback, and then they got a DC, which pretty much killed them completely. But like they had their odds, they had their chances, and that's still a way to start. You can think to yourself, okay, we lost this game, but we still could have won it if only the fate decided to go against us. It's just game one, and we'll see how they're able to do on to Humpback Pumptrack.
Yeah, Humpback Pumptrack Clam Blitz is one of those game modes which has been added in Splatoon 2. So it is, I mean, we've been playing Clam Blitz for, I think, 4 years, I think, something like that. We've been playing Clam Blitz. Not entirely sure. Humpback Pumptrack is also a couple months old now in Splatoon, so we've been used to playing this map mode, but I think this is one of the more difficult Clam Blitz map modes this game has to offer, for the fact you don't see it as much in the rotation, and I don't think it's a map mode which is in practice all too often, you know, compared to Clam Blitz, I don't know, Mental Maria, which we practice a lot more, or Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge, Clam Blitz, you name it really, Clam Blitz Inkblot Art Academy. Those maps are just played more often than Humpback Pumptrack, so I think it's going to prove a challenge to both of these teams. But like you said, OctoInkers was strong, but Seachedelia definitely was able to hold their own and not being dominated. So that's a good start, and I think from what they've learned this game, and hopefully without a disconnect, they can show themselves that they have a lot more strength in them, and, you know, hoping for them take the set, because they really need to get that W to get them back into LUTI, because with 2 losses, there's a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah, lots of pressure, and again, like Seachedelia, if they just adjust a bit, find a good push, and not disconnect, we're pretty even with OctoInkers, so we're not that far. Just don't disconnect, please. Please don't disconnect.
Well, if you're gonna disconnect, do it at like the first 30 seconds and not almost 3 minutes into the game. That was I want to say that was unfortunate because they had a very, very good push actually. That Inkjet would have helped so much against Akula, against that pencil, because that and the Nautilus were two of the biggest struggles OctoInker had. They just had no answer to the damage output that the pencil just does, and that's unfortunate because if they get rid of that pencil, they have so much more maneuverability, they have so much more push potential, they can honestly win more fights because there's not a single laser pointer from across the map just kind of poking at them very, very annoyingly, but enough to get splatted.
Yeah, it's all about like finding that initiative in the fight, and it all starts with a Zuka shot at the pencil. And that's Seachedelia. They need to get that going. They need to get that. But again, we've only seen so much of Seachedelia in that first game, and OctoInkers so far, like, they're the stronger team because they can keep 4 players on the field. And like, we've seen them more organized, getting a bit more picks and getting like that pencil into their place, into position. And once that pencil is in position, we haven't seen Seachedelia really contest that and stop that.
No, and I think the other problem which Seachedelia also had was the fact that there were always people guarding that pencil. So taking it out was also a challenge because you had a Nautilus who was guarding that pencil with their life until the second an opening came forth for that Nautilus to start pushing in, and then a lot of damage was struck by them. And like you said, I told them they were a backliner, but they were like, no, I'm a frontliner. I can be at the front and shoot people.
Nautilus is not a backline. It never was. It's a frontline weapon. You use it to get splats, and that was a very, very good demonstration of that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's more like a sort of hybrid. I think it can do both. It can do a backline purpose if it needs to, but it primarily wants to be a frontline weapon. However, I think with the composition, it was very much a midliner because they had to guard that pencil until the opening struck, and it definitely struck for OctoInkers multiple times, and they pushed it all the way to 10, and that opening push was absolutely disgusting.
Oh yeah, that first push really took Seachedelia by surprise, and again, that's the Nautilus really just moving forward, getting the picks. And when you'd expect a Nautilus to maybe like try to take that space before the space is painted, but no, Nautilus just went forward, grabbed the Rainmaker, got the checkpoint, and from then on it was all momentum from OctoInkers. And if Seachedelia managed to not get surprised at first and not give that momentum to OctoInkers, we have a much even game, and there's a lot that could happen from there. We will see how they go.
Yeah, one thing what Seachedelia might actually can do to help against those Inksuka rain from OctoInkers is switch one of those Sukas out for a bubbler. I was commentating Triton Cup last Friday, and we saw one team, I believe it was Cars, I'm not entirely sure it was, we saw one team opting to drop one Zuka for a bubbler, which is absolutely massive now, and it helped so much to fight against that dry Zuka. It can take 1 or 2 shots, but it can often be enough to clear out your objective. It can often be enough to defend that Rainmaker. It can often be enough to put down the Tacticooler in a safe space for you and your teammates to grab it. I think that might actually help a lot, as well as that pencil. That bubbler will be a nightmare for that pencil to deal with, because I have to shoot it multiple times to get rid of it, and you can stand in there and do stuff. So that might be something Seachedelia can look into to have that. If they quickly check their roster, I don't think they have someone who quickly can switch to a weapon that does play the bubbler, but it might be something that they can look into, because switching from Splattershot to Junior is not all too difficult. You have to make sure that you paint a lot until the fight, but that does mean that the end up has to take a more offensive role, because the Splattershot Junior is more painting. But maybe for Clamblitz, Humpback Pumptrack, it might not be the best idea, but looking at Splatstone's Hagglefish Market or Tower Control on the new map, which names I always seem to forget. Cargo Cargo. It's cargo
Shipshape.
something. Oh, Shipshape.
Yeah,
No.
Shipshape Cargo Company.
Yeah, that's what I want. Shipshape Cargo Co. I think for a map like that, it might actually be useful. We have to see what these teams are changing. We're gonna start off the next game here finally after a lobby rehost because of lag. Let's see what they bring with Sylvia the Pencil. We see the Vanilla Special and we see the Carbon Roller Decker coming out from Seachedelia. OctoInkers. I think these names are wrong because OctoInkers had Akuda, so we quickly. No, they were right. To switch them. Okay. And we do see the Machine Neo and the Tri Nouveau coming out. Yep. From Seachedelia, so very good weapon choices and very different from the first game. Still 2 Zukas on the side of OctoInkers, also 2 Zukas on the side of Seachedelia. I always forget that the Tri Nouveau exists. I'm gonna talk about it for a second. I always forget that it exists. As Seachedelia gets splattered here, but also gets 2 splats.
Tri-Slasher got nerfed a little bit in the last patch, but on this map mode it's still so strong. It's still such a great tactical option, and I think that's the kind of edge that Seachedelia wants to have. Like, these 2 slashers have like the power to really make a huge difference on a Humpback Pumptrack. But right now, OctoInkers activating the Zukas, trying to get a picks, not finding any connection, but finally collapsing onto Seachedelia. And right now, okay, it's just a team deathmatch.
Yeah, I mean, team deathmatch is always the beginning of clamps. You have to get your paint and you have to get some clamps to get on the field. OctoInkers almost ready to get a power clamp in 6 clamps into the hands, but they have to fight against all those slashers from Seachedelia, which is very annoying. But we see power clamps coming out, and power clamp is online and on the field, and its Carbon Rollers trying to push in deep, waiting to use their Ink Zuka. They are 65 plus points in. Gets the 3 players down on the side of Seachedelia. It's just Trash Slasher alive, trying their best to defend, and defend they are! The power clamp does unfortunately go in, and a lot of points we score there as well, pushing it to 74 and counting, 71-68. Benzo gets a good splat on that Trash Slasher Nouveau. The Carbon Roller goes down by Season, now looking to fight. That Pencil looks at the jumper, it's a notch, goes down. Very close to the Pencil, gets the Pencil, gets the Carbon Roller as well. Season absolutely smashing it. Inkzuka against Starcube. Doesn't find the connection, doesn't find the splat, but a very, very good triple splat here. Definitely made some room for Seachedelia, but unfortunately another power clamp was picked up. Inkjet goes down by by Genyo, but what a fight from Season, and what a very good defense from Seachedelia, but now they have to fight it here, Pat.
That was a great fight for Season that really allowed the rest of Seachedelia to get back into the map, but then they rushed, they tried to get a little bit too forward, and now they are just like fighting with OctoInkers for mid that they had just earlier, and now Nima just punishing the Carbon, and Seachedelia is looking to be on the attack again. That's going to be an opening of the basket by Season, but the rest of Seachedelia is stuck in mid, and they can't follow up. They can't follow up, and they're just like trying to keep me now. They are not getting anything from that push.
Yeah, unfortunately, Season was a bit too excited to open that basket. Not a single clamp was in the hands of Seachedelia as well, and no one was around that basket to fight. And Kuda was also still alive. So I don't know why Season opted to go for open the basket. It's definitely a waste of your opening push. Now they have a big time penalty, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's still half the points scored from your first power clamp. That's gonna sting a lot. They are pushing in again. They have gotten rid of the Pencil. The Narcs just respawned. The Special's down as well. They can pick it up. They can open the basket. They have the pity clamp, but they have to grab it and get it all into the basket. There's a power clamp at the bottom, but don't get splattered. There's Jack with another power clamp splattered as well. 3 players down for Seachedelia, and there, almost there, does go to forced a late wipe out on the side of Seachedelia, and OctoInkers already responding with that power clamp. This is how you respond to an opening. Have your response at the ready. Basket open again for OctoInkers. 3 players go down on their Saitos. That push not gonna do a whole lot, but still gonna push their score from 65 to 59.
Yeah, that's not a big push, but that's just an extension of the lead. Making sure... Oh, wait! OctoInkers getting 3 picks, and right now it's just Season with Bazooka trying to keep that team alive, but it's not enough, and OctoInkers are just again in full control of mid, of the clans, and looking to reopen. And they get
Ooh,
it.
and if reopen they do. And now Sturgeon has to do the same thing as earlier, make a splatter. There's that unfortunate. A lot of clams going in on the side of OctoInkers, pushing it already to 36. Make that 14 the second I say that. That's only 7 clams away, if not even less than a knockout. That's only 2 clams away to knock out. Can they find a knockout though? The wipeout on Shipshape will prevent that with 10 seconds left on the clock. They have to be very difficult to get all the way to 4. They have Bucket, don't even know there's a guard defending that basket. That's unfortunate. Season at the back trying to flank. Zuka at the ready gets the guard, but Season gets better by Genyo. Power clams in the hands of someone. I don't know who it is. It was Jack. But everyone was splattered in the middle. It's just Nemo who just respawned. And I think that will be the end of that game with a very, very dominating game for OctoInkers.
Yeah. Seachedelia really, like, failing to get that coordination on their attack. The moment they had to get under the basket, it was just one player after the other. And OctoInkers just needed to, well, splat that one player that goes forward first, and then they have numbered advantage, and they can just play off of that advantage and get more and more ground. OctoInkers are now up 2-0, and Seachedelia, they need to well, find that coordination, find that extra thing, because right now OctoInkers are just in their head.
They really are, and compared to the first game, I think they kind of played worse. I don't want to be rude to them, but I think they kind of played worse. They definitely had less coordination. Season, I want to say, was absolutely on fire though, but at the cost of the synergy between the team was gone. That's something I have to pick up fast. The communication has to be more on point, because they've been making decisions on their own. A good example was Season getting a nice triple splat, which was good to get them back into mid, but then they did nothing with that. Absolutely nothing. And then Season later throws a power clam into the basket, which is great for an opening, but they didn't think of the follow-up, and that's something which is, I think, maybe more important than scoring your opening, is having a follow-up ready for the second that you do score. That's something that Seachedelia was struggling at a lot. But the 2 hardest game modes, I think, for Seachedelia are now away. So hopefully on Splatstone's Hagglefish market, they can shine a little bit more.
Yeah, Hat, that's how you said, like, Clam Blitz is going to be really a test of your coordination. That's going to put so much stress on it, because keeping track of the objective is, like, much harder than in the other modes. And when the game goes that fast, like, you keeping track of all these clams, knowing what to do when you have a super clam, when you have a little bit of clams. Like, we saw Seachedelia really panic the moment they had a super clams. It was burning their hands, and they just wanted to go forward, try to put it in the basket and get picked. Now, on zones, keeping track of the objective is much easier. It's the zone, it's not moving. Just go to the zone and paint it. Like, it's something that Seachedelia can really find the way to compose themselves onto, to breathe a bit and get their head back into the game. Because right now, as you said, yeah, that game 2 was tougher for them that game 1, and they want to revert that momentum.
Yeah, but I think the trouble is with Splatstone's Hagglefish market, and as Hagglefish market, it's a very easy map to get dominated, and that zone is also quite small, and fighting against double Zuka will make it very difficult, and a Shark and Garden Roller at that map can be an absolute nightmare. That pencil might actually switch off to the Eater here. We have to see it here into the next round, round number 3, 2-0. For OctoInkers, so Seachedelia has to go fast. We see a very nice squeezer coming out. OctoInkers often go back to the first bomb. Genyo swapping out the Nautilus for a Rapid. That's not something you see every day anymore, but a very interesting pick. That squeezer though is absolutely scary.
Yeah, and that Rapid adds some poking power and an extra inkjet, and that inkjet on this map, once it's above the zone and really can't be fired at, it can, like, deal a lot of damage, give a lot of control to your team. And right now both teams are just, like, struggling to get that control, but it looks like Seachedelia are going to activate the specials, keep things from going, but OctoInkers get the zone and get that map.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a lead there, but it was not enough. OctoInkers waiting it a little bit to get the splash ready and start with a massive push. And massive it was. The Squeezer doesn't even have to use their Ixuka. They will use it now with a counter from Jack, I believe, with that Tactical. I don't think a Tactical will do all too much here as the Pencil still alive. Oxo going in, trying to find it. That Pencil, but then fortunately he saw 3 people on the right and opted. It was not worth it yet. OctoInkers though scoring a lot of points all the way into the 40s now and counting. Nartus goes down, Pencil also goes down, which is actually huge for Searchedelia. This might be a push, but losing 2 players is not how you win that fight. Unfortunately, yet again and again and again they have a small opportunity, but just no follow-up, and it happened here again. No penalty also on OctoInkers. That's not looking good for Searchedelia.
OctoInkers are looking stronger and stronger every game, Hat. This is so strong for that team. That team, like, at the first game, OctoInkers looked good. Second game, they looked better, and now they look unstoppable.
Yeah, they really do. I think it's also a combination of both. Some frustration from Searchedelia and OctoInkers really holding their ground and showing what they can do. And I mean, again, they are also looking at the loss and that little sneaky fist bump from Kurota and Agula to seal the deal. That is amazing from OctoInkers. Shows how well they've been playing this game of LUTI so far. 3-0. Searchedelia putting themselves into more and more pressure. They have to almost get a reverse sweep in to get that dub in the set. They can only afford to lose 1 more game in this best of 9. So it's best of 9, best of 7.
It's best of 9,
right? Okay, it is best of 9. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I was away all day at an event, so I'm a little tired. Don't mind me. Yeah, so they can only afford to lose 1 more game in the best of 9, and hopefully that will not be tower control, because that would be difficult. That would really be difficult, having to reverse sweep against a team like OctoInkers in Div 4 is absolutely smashing it.
Yeah, and Hat, like, on game 1, Seachedelia, they could blame the netcode. On game 2, they could blame that, okay, it's clams and we're bad at coordinating on clams. On game 3, what's their excuse? Like, they really need, like, to face it and see, okay, like, they have to change how they play. They need to change their comp. They need to find a counter, because OctoInkers, they bring a blaster and really change what they do, and they get extra points off of it. Like, OctoInkers is adapting and getting better and better and better, and Seachedelia, they're just like, they need to find big change. Otherwise, like, I don't know how they get back in this game.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. They have to find something, and I think the only excuse they can say right now is it was their poor playing. They've not been playing together as much as they should be. I think they're good players. I mean, look at Season, for example. Crazy Spanish shot can get a lot of stuff done, but I think they're just not playing well enough with their team, and that's holding them back. They have to shove some of their pride away a little bit and get more team play and get more coordination and work together. And that's something OctoInkers has been doing very, very well. They're waiting for each other to go in. They're covering each other's flanks. With one holding left, and one they make sure the other one is holding right. And that's something that I want to see from Searchedelia as well. Now we're going to see it here on Tower Control, the final game mode of the night. This is only 4 ranked game modes. We've been playing the first 3. Now Tower Control will be the last one. We don't see any change from this team competition. They're happy as it should be. And why should OctoInkers, change anything? That Squeezer and that Rapid will add so much potential to the team, especially on a map like this, where it's very, very vertical. A lot of angles. A decent opener though for Searchedelia, but losing 2 players here is again going to sting. Season going back, opting to survive as 3 players from OctoInkers going forward uses their Inksuka, but without any result. Nima also using their Inkjet. They have to get 1 split in to get a push in, and the trade between the NZAP and the Pencil might be a very good start.
Yeah, both teams still struggling to really get a huge advantage. That's enough advantage to push now, and OctoInkers, they're going to be able to get the tower, maybe? No, Season behind them trying to stop things from happening while Genyo just with the Inkjet. Okay, the Season has been stopped, and right now OctoInkers are looking to get that first checkpoint.
Yeah, I feel like Seachedelia is relying a little bit too much on Season to get some work done. Garota with a very nasty engine on that tower. Ops to fight Nima with a little block, which he cannot shoot through, says no, but the tower is being pushed far. They get past halfway the map and are looking to go for that second checkpoint. Akuda with the pencil on the tower. Garota pushing forward. Genyo and Starkey pushing far left. That's going to make it more difficult for Seachedelia to go in. 2 players down with a late 3 players down. They only have 1 special at the ready to defend. I believe it's Zuka from Axel who is looking to get some use out of it. Oh, sorry, it was Zuka from Season willing to get some use out of it, but the tower is going forward and forward and forward and is hitting the second checkpoint right about now.
Yeah, and right now, OctoInkers, they're keeping the tower there. They're not trying to push it, they're just keeping the tower into enemy territory, maintaining that threat, maintaining that pressure, and Seachedelia is just struggling to keep the opponent at bay, and they are just, okay, finally getting a little bit of ground, but OctoInkers still in control of mid and just waiting for them.
Yeah, they finally get some map back, and the tower is resetting to it. Also, they have a little breathing where they have to find a way to keep control of mid, and with that pencil, with that Rapid's gonna make it so difficult. Rapid goes down. That's a very good start. They get rid of the pencil now. They have a almost free push, but they have to fight against 2 Ixukas, which is definitely possible. On the tower they go. Nemo uses the Ixuka, gets splattered by Akuda. Season goes in trying to fight Akuda as well. Gets a very good splat there on one of the Ixuka users. Akuda very weakened, opts to go back, survives, doesn't find the splat. Oxel trying to get rid of them now. Drops down as a protection. Doesn't work. I don't think it does. Nima now fighting the pencil. Gets a good trade. That might actually be very good scoring for Seachedelia, but there are already 2 players onto the field compared to everyone respawning from OctoInkers. Genyo on the Injet trying to fight a good spot, and Neiman gets splattered the second injured pin. Jack also weakened here. Oxel very weak as well, but they all managed to survive. Genyo goes down by Season, who's playing absolutely massive. They're only a couple points away from that lead, but that push has unfortunately come to an end, as a lot of players from Seachedelia have been splattered. But what a very good attempt, and this is exactly what I wanted to see from Seachedelia.
Yes, Seachedelia are now in the same checkpoint as OctoInkers, but OctoInkers, it's their turn to attack now, and it's just 1 player standing for Seachedelia, and OctoInkers getting the jumps onto the tower. They are looking to get that second and final checkpoint hat, and they are getting there. Ooh.
Yeah, they're so close. They're very close. They're touching it. They can smell it, but will it be enough? I don't think it will. Akuda gets splattered by Season just in the nick of time. It's going to send it back a little bit. It will especially set back the attack to Akuda because they have to charge it from a very low point now instead of whatever point they were originally going to charge it from. Now it's Seachedelia's turn to start pushing again. They got rid of the Rapid Blaster. They're looking to push for a little bit. You can get more splash. Season looking strong with that Inksuka. Will it be enough? No, I don't think it will be. They couldn't find anyone to connect the shot with 2 players down. Again, make that a late 3. I don't think there's whole much they can do. They still have 40 seconds left onto the clock to find that push from 45 to 26. It can definitely be done, but they have to get a monster push pad to get that lead.
Yeah, and right now it's OctoInkers trying to get another push in, trying to get a bit more, and another pick on Seachedelia. Seachedelia just 1 shot to defend 1 Zuka at the ready. That Zuka has to be used right at the tower to stop it, and here it comes. Seachedelia, they need to run at the tower right now if they want even a shot at getting that comeback. That comeback is going to be very tough, but Nima getting a pick, and right now getting on tower. They are still alive. It's just Akula with the pencil. Akula has to move away, and Seachedelia, they bought themselves a push, but it's going to be a tough one. There's no checkpoint. They just need to go forward.
Yeah, Akula now gonna be proving a lot of trouble. Season gets a very good spot actually on one of the Spanish shots. It's a 3v3 scenario here on the tower. The tower was very close. There's no one on it. It is Oxo on it, but unfortunately gets one, but doesn't get the other 2 players down. But Starcube survived Axel's splatter shot, ending game number 4, 73 to 55. They've definitely played better. Will this, however, be the comeback for Seachedelia, as they've learned how to play together more and are fighting their best life? Let's see here. OctoInkers 4-0. They put themselves into match point status. Now it has to be reverse sweep for Seachedelia to get that victory, but with Rainmaker, it will be very, very difficult.
Yeah, it will be very tough indeed. Seachedelia, like, back against the wall now, like, OctoInkers on their way to get a sweep, and even the Seachedelia, like, they looked good. They looked the best that we've seen them tonight. Yet, hopefully. But they have just to get a little bit more, one more push, one more defense, one more pick, and maybe they could get that. And on Rainmaker, honestly, I think it's a good mode for them to win, because it's where you can get that one surprise push that changes things. It's the perfect map mode to get an upset, and they need an upset right now. It would be an upset for Seachedelia.
I think to do it. They don't need one upset, they need 5 upsets in a row. But yeah, like you said, Undertow is a very good map to get this pushing, because you have 2 very broad options. You can go to the left, which is the more safe side, or you can go to the right, which is definitely harder, but it is way faster. So there's definitely options that they can utilize, and I think they have the potential now. They learn together, and we saw it in Cargo Co, where they had more synergy. They were playing together. They had pushes, and Season was actually waiting for the teammates to get in or getting just that flank that they needed to get rid of Akuya, to get rid of anyone who's sharking on the left, just for that small little opening. And they were consistently pushing towards the 40, so that's a very good start for Seachedelia. But they have to show what they've learned here now, because like you said, backs against the wall, pressure is very high.
Pressure is high indeed, but the pressure is on OctoInkers too, because getting that 5-0, like, you can feel it. It's not the time to release the pressure. It's not the time to stop playing. Like, you want to stay serious, you want to stay in the game, and here we go. This is game 5, this could be the last game. And OctoInkers, is that a heavy edit? Yes, okay.
It is? Oh, alright. Okay, I didn't expect that. And Nima looking on that E-leader. Okay, so they swapped out some major things. OctoInkers, however, are they, like, trying something? You barely see edits, and you barely see 96 gals anymore, so I think they're maybe even experimenting. Well, Karota definitely isn't experimenting, playing the Carbo Rotor in 2 games so far, and this is the 3rd, and absolutely smashing it. 2 players down. There comes the Tacticooler, and this is a big moment, because everyone from OctoInkers has that Tacticooler on. And a line, 3 players down, and Seachedelia as well. Well, almost guaranteed a check, but no! Season had something to say about it with the Inksuka, gets a splat. That is massive for the defense, but there comes a Kraken from OctoInkers, completely negating any defense. But no! The checkpoint still hasn't been taken, because it was another Inksuka by OctoInkers who prevented it. What is Seachedelia doing in the defense? But I don't know what they're doing, but it is definitely working.
Seachedelia just keeping themselves alive in this, but OctoInkers not relenting. They are keeping the pressure. They still have control of mid, and they're going to get, I believe, a very quick pop. Oh wait, no, they're not even shooting at their shield. I mean, Seachedelia are back in there, and thanks to bazookas, they are keeping themselves in that game, and they are back on the attack.
Yes, that's what Seachedelia wants. They have to be a little bit fast, but OctoInkers is good in the defense. That is Season gone. That is a major player in their offensive gone. That's Octo gone. That's Nima gone. That's 3 players down, and it is just Jack who's there getting splatted, unfortunately, ending that push, only pushing to 99. It's a very unfortunate push. OctoInkers looking to go for another shot at that checkpoint. The checkpoint still hasn't been cleared yet, but looks like it will be cleared now, as there's no Sun Inksuka to stop Genyo from pushing. Akula gets a very sneaky kill with that Inksuka onto Nima, and they're pushing forward once again. Audacity from Starcube, who is in the base with a Kraken, smashing it. They are not messing around.
They're not messing indeed, and that Rainmaker is just trying to get forward. Karota! Oh no. Oh no, this could. Oh no.
Oh no, oh no.
Oh no. Are you. I hope Seachedelia grabs the Rainmaker. Grab the Rainmaker. Okay.
But Karota's still there. They don't know.
Still
They don't know.
Oh yeah,
and there's still some ink.
The
The carburetor. Oh no! Oh no! They missed it! Oh, they missed it!
Oh!
They missed it! 3 down on both sides. They missed it. Oh, Corona, what were you doing? You had the perfect opportunity to get a massive game-winning play, and they messed it up. They messed it up. Unfortunate.
And Seachedelia alive, but they need that checkpoint. They need these points, and Jack looking to go there, and Bazooka is going to... Oh yeah, well, it goes both ways. We can stop that checkpoint with Bazooka to Akula denying the pop and just getting it, and Seachedelia is going to struggle to get back in. And oh, Akula getting... That's a triple for OctoInkers right now, and Axel just needs to move back, respect OctoInkers attack, and OctoInker back into mid with the Rainmaker. Less than a minute and a half, and it looks like a 5-0 right now. Seachedelia are going to need everything that they have.
A miracle definitely needs to happen for OctoInkers, or from Seachedelia. OctoInkers is getting doubles, triples, left and right. Everyone is down all the time. Massive flanks. Nima, what are you doing? You're an eater. There are people on the right. There's a carburetor right there. There's someone right behind you. What are you doing there? Stay back a little bit. Use that range. Ganyu now on the Rainmaker. Chip is down on the side of Seachedelia. It is just dead, eating alive, running knockout, running out of the bag, and splash wall onto the pedestal as OctoInkers with an amazing 5-0 sweeps Seachedelia under the rock to take their first LUTI victory.
And what a victory for OctoInkers. That's a huge 5-0. What a way to win, and that's a very nice for them. Like great victory. Woo. And that was a big game, and OctoInkers, they look dangerous.
OctoInkers definitely had it with them. They did everything right. I think the only unfortunate part was Kurota missing that triple splat onto the flank by missing their swing. But other than that, OctoInkers, there was not a whole lot they could have changed to get that victory, and it shows how much they deserved this victory. But even if this was only the first win for OctoInkers, I wonder what the rest of that bracket looks like, because that group might actually be a very, very scary Div 4 group with some teams like 8K Ping and Meow maybe not really belonging into Div 4, maybe a little bit higher, but only time will tell. What a set we had on stream tonight. An absolutely dominating set by OctoInkers.
Yeah, very, very great set, and honestly, Seachedelia, they almost got back in there. They had a few fights, they had like some maps, but never long enough to win a game, never good enough, and really that big counter by OctoInkers and that complete mix-up that they brought us into that game 5, that was absolutely awesome to see. And well, what nice way to end this, like OctoInkers showing that not only do they have like power, they also have range in their comp, and the rest of their group like needs to be on notice that yeah, they lost to 8K Ping, but this is not over. It's going to be a big LUTI, and you have to pay attention if you want to beat them. But Hat, I think that is it for us. So where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at @casterhead, and also on Twitch at @casterhead. I was planning to stream soon, but we might have some construction later, so if that happens, I'll have to delay it a little bit. If not, I want to stream maybe in November some return of Splatoon 2, maybe some me building Legos. I don't know. I want to do more Splatoon stuff in the future, because that's definitely something I've been lacking. Maybe even to stream Super Mario Bros. Wonder, because that also came out, and I'm planning to get that soon as well. So keep an eye out. Hit me a follow on Twitter and on Twitch, and see you online sometime. And Pat, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at @BadOrTom. It's written on your screen here, and that's pretty much it. You can also probably find me on Paddling Pool Business Wednesday. And that's going to be it for us. I think we're allowed to rate the competition. We'll probably go against to see Low Ink. And yeah, let's go watch that. And bye bye everybody.
Bye.